Welcome to Lesson 3, Functions and Equations. Your code word for today is fish. You can follow along with me on page 596. We're going to do letter A. We need to write an equation to represent the function shown in the table. So looking at this example, I need to figure out how I can get from my x of 1 to 16. Well, I know I can multiply both by the 1 by 16. 2 to 32, I can still multiply it by 16, and so on all the way down. So I know that I need something multiplied by 16. So I have my 16. That something number, they tell me right here, all those numbers go with an x. So 16x. Now remember, an equation must have an equal sign. And since we don't know what our output is, because it could be any number, I'm going to say y equals 16x. And this is my new form of an equation. You can follow along with me on page 597. We're going to do letter C and then graph it. The first thing to do to solve this problem is to make a chart. I'm going to make an x chart and a y. Those are going to be my two numbers in my chart. This is my equation that I'm plugging values into, and we've done this before. So, if I want to let's start with 0. I'm going to plug 0 in for x. So y equals 3 times, I'm plugging 0 in for x, so it's 3 times 0 plus 2. 3 times 0 is 0, plus 2 is 2. So my output would be 2. Let's plug in another value. Let's plug in 1. Well, I have my y equals, and I'm plugging in 1 for my x again into that same equation. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. So my output is 5. I would like you to plug in at least 3 numbers into the equation to graph it. So let's plug in 2 now. Y equals 3. I plug in 2 for my x, plus 2. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 would give me 8. So there are my inputs of x and my outputs of y. Now if you remember back to a while ago, we talked about graphing. Remember, to graph, we need an ordered pair of x comma y. Notice our output and input are x comma y. So I can make all of these ordered pairs. And we've done this before. Now that they're in ordered pairs, I can graph them on this graph. So I'm going to graph 0, 1, 2. I'm going to graph 1, 5, and 2, 8 is going to be way off the graph somewhere up here. I connect my dots with a line, and I'm done.